I will now cover the topic of how to assemble and install a DAB radio aerial. These will become extremely popular in the coming months and years as the DAB, people switch from traditional FM radios over to the DAB digital radios. The aerial I have in front of me here is an omnidirectional signal element DAB aerial, and it comes in two component parts, the aerial itself and also an arm and a bracket for locking onto a pole, and the only additional piece of equipment you need on top of that would be a length of coaxial cable, which is just standard satellite cable. In terms of tools, we need a flathead screwdriver, a snips, and a 10mm socket or a spanner. So I'll just start off. The first thing to do is take the cover off the aerial. And now I slide this aerial onto a length of cable that I've already pared down. The key here is to simply pare down the first length of cable here and push it through the capping like this, okay? So I slide this directly into the aerial. So you can see here the core wire goes into the center and the earth wires go on the outside. So the key here is that we have this core wire here firmly clamped into position. We have a length of white insulation in between, which means that the earth and the core wire are not touching each other. So that's that part of it firmly locked in position. Next part is to lock the earth wire into position. So that's that assembly part of it more or less complete. And now we come along and we slide this capping on. So that is the next thing. This provides a watertight fitting on it. So from that perspective, it's a very good line. Now we simply turn over the bracketry. And the next thing will be to assemble this aerial. Now, the first thing we'll have to do is take off the wing nuts. They're locking this into position. So there we have it. Wing nut 1 comes out, and wing nut 2 will come off here as well. It's important when we're mounting this that the cable needs to feed from the side that's next to the bracketry. Other than that, we'll be wrapping the cable back around itself. So when we come along here, we simply hold up the thing. I line it up at the first hole, and now I line it up at the second hole. So that's it fully assembled. So you can see here the cable is feeding out from the side. This is where the pole will go. So if we had to put the aerial on the opposite direction, the cable would have to double over itself and back over to the pole, and that would look bad, and also it wouldn't be as good a technical solution. What we do now is we put the wing nuts on, and we can use these tighten washers to tighten in the mechanism. So wing nut. So as we tighten this in here, we can actually flick this over, and if we want to, we can use a flathead screwdriver to allow us to tighten that in the rest of the way. Now there's no need to do it on the other one because it's actually the head of the nut actually fits into a molded frame. So that's it. That's the aerial fully assembled more or less. And the next step is to come along to assemble this onto an aerial. So we come down along, we slide on the aerial, and I'm almost forgetting my socket here. This is my 10mm socket. I come along. There. You slide it down like this. It's very loose, you can use your actual fingers to tighten on these nuts. This pole here, we just have it mounted in a roll of cable, so it's a little bit curved, but you can get the general idea. We have that there. And then we can actually, if we want, we can rotate the cable aerial around, but normally this is not such an issue. And that's it. This is the aerial fully assembled. So that's the complete assembly and installation of a DAB radio aerial.